And I think our guest is here. Would we say, is he a bad man?
He might be a bad man.
He might be. Let's find out.
What's going on, guys? What's going on?
Hey,
up,
welcome to the show, Tommy.
He's a
Thank
bad
you very
man.
much for having me. To answer your question in like a Dusty Rhodes type of sense, I am bad, you know, but not like a bad guy. I don't think I'm a piece of shit. I hope not, anyways.
Well, that's good.
Yeah.
That's good, Tommy. Happy Memorial Day.
Likewise.
And I thank you, sir. I know the people want to know, like when Tommy Trainwreck goes to a barbecue, what are must-haves? Like if you were at a Memorial Day barbecue today.
You need a burger. You need a flame grilled burger. All right. Personally, I'm a potato salad type of guy. Macaroni salad will do, but if I'm making a plate, we need a burger. We need some potato salad. I'm a fan of those barbecue meatballs. You know what I mean? The grape jelly, the chili sauce meatballs. If you got some of those,
Okay.
throw that on there, and I'll end it with a hot dog. But it's got to be a quality dog, like a Nathan's or something with some snap to it. You know.
All right. What's going on the dog?
Mustard.
Just mustard?
Just mustard. Yeah, I'm a plain type of guy, I guess.
No,
I was hoping that that was a more exciting answer for you, but no, yeah, just mustard, man.
Well, if you say ketchup, I would have asked if you were 4 years old. So
No, I know I'm not a toddler.
I feel attacked. I put ketchup and mustard on mine.
But you see the key word there, Brundo, and mustard.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
both. That's acceptable.
Right.
If it's a shitty dog, like we're talking like some bar S that didn't even cook, it just like sizzled and melted. Yeah, I mean, I might throw some ketchup on it if it's terrible, but like to enjoy, if it's a good dog and I'm enjoying a dog, no ketchup, no fucking way.
Tommy, does a veggie platter
I fucking knew it.
barbecue plans? I'm just curious.
Nah, man. I mean, unless somebody's like a vegan and like you have like a friend who you know doesn't do the meats, then I'd say it's acceptable. Like my barbecue, personally, no. You gotta remember that.
You like walk by and fucking grab a carrot or something in your travels?
No. Am I a rabbit, sir? Or like a tiny foraging animal? Like, no.
Sir.
Hell no.
Motherfucker, you are a bad man, Tommy. You are a bad
Go eat some sun chips.
Oh, what's wrong with sun chips, Brundo?
No, that was the barbecue must-have last year.
I
Sun
don't
chips.
know about must-have, but I enjoy a nice
No,
sun chip.
not you.
What flavor? Garden salsa?
Yep.
You a cheddar type of guy? What are we talking about?
I like original and the garden salsa.
Original, dude? You might as well eat a fucking wicker basket. You're a psychopath.
I mean, I know we just met, Tommy, but you're on the right So speaking of psychopaths, I mean, you do the deathmatch wrestling there.
I dabble in the arts of the deathmatch. I do.
That is not for the faint at heart. How did you get into the deathmatch wrestling?
So for me, my path into professional wrestling isn't like most people. I wasn't like a lifelong fan or anything like that. So like when I got into wrestling, I got into it and I just got hit with the whole bubble. I got introduced to WWE and the indies all at once. But for me, I was drawn to the indies because that was like attainable to me. And I was like, oh, you know what I mean? Like I could do that. So I was really like attracted to the indies, and I started. I'm a 2000s, like I'm a 90s baby. So like music videos on YouTube, dude. I see guys like Necro and Sick Nick Mondo doing the shit in CZW, and that's what wrapped me into being a fan of deathmatch.
And then, so you do the wrestling training, and then like, is it like, I want to train to be a deathmatch wrestler, or you just want to train to be a wrestler?
I just want to train to be a wrestler. But like, even when I was a backyarder, we always had those hardcore elements because we're fans of that stuff. So it's always been sprinkled in my style. Like in my some early stuff in my career, like I'm working for NWA on Fire, and I'm convincing the Civoldis to let me use the thumbtack fat bat on their TV show because I just want to do deathmatch stuff. But where I'm from Massachusetts originally, so we're talking like 2008 to like 2013 Massachusetts scene. There wasn't really a big deathmatch boom at that time. Like if you weren't in CZW, like GCW wasn't a thing yet. Right. When I first started my career. So like if you weren't in CZW already established doing death matches, it was very hard to break that bubble. So I did what I could to sprinkle in the deathmatch elements wherever possible.
Did you ever try reaching out to like Ian Rotten, make a trip down?
Oh yeah.
I
I talked to Ian a couple times. We just never were able to iron anything out specifically, because you guys got to remember when I first started my career, I was a tag team guy as well. So the first 6 years of my career, I was strictly doing tag team wrestling, and especially deathmatch. That's a niche and a niche and a niche. You know what I mean? Tag team deathmatch wrestling. That's a very you don't see that very often. So it wasn't he wasn't super excited about trying to bring us out. So we never really got anywhere. Though I did talk with him.
Now you said that you didn't a lifelong fan or anything like that. Like the performance piece of it, were you like a fucking theater kid that was violent? Like, how did you make that transition then?
So as a youth, I kind of had a turbulent childhood. I moved around a lot. Okay. So when I got into middle school, I fell into a group of friends who liked Yu-Gi-Oh! And they also liked pro wrestling, and they backyard wrestled. So when I met this group of friends, I was adopted into a bigger group of friends. And the main thesis was backyard wrestling. So that was like, oh, I like these guys. They're my friends. This is what they do. So I dove in, you know what I mean? And that's where I became a fan. Cause like I watch wrestling occasionally. Like I have memories of watching like WCW pay-per-views with my aunt, you know what I mean? Like she was a big fan of Big Sexy. She loved Kevin Nash, but so like I have those memories, but I wasn't necessarily like watching weekly and following the product and knowing what was going on until I met my group of friends, and that was in the 6th grade. So
what was the name of the backyard fed?
Action Packed Wrestling.
Okay.
What was your I was a fellow backyarder too, but that's as far as I went. I never got.
My backyard wrestling name was Prodigy.
Prodigy. Did you come out to breathe?
I did.
Nice.
I did. I'm not gonna lie. And I also came out to Red Breathe Into Me. That was the evolution of the character there.
And how long did you guys have like a ring, or did you have
no, we never had a ring, but we were so deep in the backyard wrestling scene, we were like in the forums posting our shit, and like we would meet up with other backyard feds, and we would do like our backyard fed versus your backyard fed. So yeah, we're deep in the scene, man.
That's fucking great. I love that. We were like, I don't know, 99, and we were like shit talking people on the internet, but it never.
Oh yeah, by all means.
It never got to like meeting up with like another, we have all the I have. Tony is the 4th wizard, and he's not here, but I have all like we used to videotape it too, of course.
Oh, dude, there's some of this stuff on YouTube for sure.
So I have all the tapes. Like you want to see his backyard? And like, it's a surprise none of us are fucking dead, to be perfectly honest with you.
Oh, yeah, we did some dumb shit too, for certain.
Oh, man. Yeah. We didn't do we were not like light tube, but we were like, we were ECW kids. So it was like,
we went as far as light tubes and fire.
Yeah, we did fire. We did 2 light tubes. Fire and tables.
As far as, how much more do you want to go?
I mean, there's a few more steps you can go.
Yeah, that's true.
Speaking of like how far you can go, my introduction to you was in the Crusade for a Change with Darius Carter.
Yes. Okay.
But now you are here, and I saw an interesting conversation. For some ungodly reason, I joined a deathmatch Facebook group with Brundo and Tony. It's it's wild because I really don't like there's no pertinent information in there whatsoever. It's just chaos.
But
Tommy, you're on it. Yeah.
Right, I have no idea what the fuck is going on.
I love it though. Personally, I think it's funny. That's great. You know what I mean? It breaks up my doom scrolling.
Yeah, but it's everything on my fucking feed. I don't know what the fuck is going on. Somebody asked recently, and this is where I saw it. Like the state of deathmatch wrestling is in 2025, and Joey Janela was like, "It's everywhere, and it's kind of getting stale." And I'm paraphrasing. I can pull up the exact quote.
Yeah.
But
I'm familiar. I've seen the post today.
Where are your thoughts on the whole state of deathmatch wrestling?
I disagree. I think a lot of people personally are just nostalgic. Like, go back and watch some of the older stuff that people at that time period that people are very, very nostalgic for, and like it's not as good as people remember it, in my opinion. And I think that today there's more places for guys to make a living doing deathmatch and more bigger markets for deathmatch than there have ever been. Like it used to be New Jersey or like Philly were the only areas you could get deathmatch. And now there's deathmatch in Texas, there's deathmatch in Chicago, there's deathmatch in Detroit, there's deathmatch all over the country. Like there's the West Coast scene, there's multiple different scenes that are all doing their own thing and thriving. And I think that you didn't see that 10 years ago. Like there was like the GCW boom, and that was it. There was like any of the other indies, like Vicious Outcast Wrestling, or like any of these other smaller companies. They were the ones that people were like shit talking, saying, "Oh, there's 35 people in the crowd," type things. But now you got companies like Seven and companies like RPW and companies like No Holds Barred, who wherever the fuck they go, they're packing buildings. So the metrics tell me that deathmatch is doing better than it was then because the buildings are filled. There's multiple companies succeeding. It's not just one dog in the race in New Jersey and Philly. You know what I mean? There's 10 dogs in the race and everybody's eating. So I think that deathmatch is in a good place, personally.
Now,
what do you guys think?
I don't watch a lot of deathmatch wrestling, so Brundo might be the guy that can answer that question.
Oh yeah, I think I completely agree. There's so much I can't even keep up with. There's guys popping up that might start in these smaller feds that are just blowing up, ended up on ICW or GCW. So yeah, you're right. I sat through when it was the early to mid 2000s. It was either IWA or CZW, nothing else unless you went to like Big Japan or something like that. So to see 20 companies instead of 2, it's pretty awesome for the scene.
Now, Tommy, humble guy here. You mentioned a bunch of promotions, but you did not mention WLW, which has a show coming up in 2 weeks.
We do.
The Northwoods Death Trip. And
Yeah.
We Love Wrestling is your baby.
It is. That's my brainchild. So I like to try to keep the two as separate as possible because I don't want people to want to support one or support the other because of their particular feelings, you know what I mean? And nor do I want people to treat WLW differently because they know that it's mine, So like we dabble in the deathmatch arts, but I don't necessarily consider We Love Wrestling just a deathmatch company because we do a little bit of everything, Like we're going from doing Northwoods Death Trip to the next time we're being seen in the Northwoods. We're at the second biggest fair in Dickinson County, so. We do a little bit of everything. You know what I mean? We can do blood and guts or we can do family friendly. We like to consider ourselves like a buffet of pro wrestling.
You can't beat that. Now, let me ask you, speaking buffet pro wrestling, fans bring the weapons. Do you, for you, like this is your match, you and Lil Sicko in a couple weeks. Mm-hmm. Do you have to do they bring all the weapons to the back and you're like, we can use that? Fuck out of here.
Yeah, absolutely, dude. Absolutely. As much as I love my fans and love the fans of professional wrestling, some of them are fucking unhinged and they'll bring some ridiculous shit. So I gotta take a look at it, man. I don't want to get like tetanus or like, you know what I mean? Like there's just certain things that are just a no for me. Like razor wire, like that's a no for me. There's a few things that I just don't mess with. So yeah, 1000%. I'll take a look at the weapons.
Did anyone ever oh, sorry, bro. Go ahead, HK.
No, I was going to say along that line of people bringing weapons. Have you ever saw something that was like, okay, challenge accepted? Like, has anybody brought like a fucking bag of marshmallows? Or you know what? I'm going to fucking make this work. Have you been in that position before?
Yeah. So a lot of the deathmatch guys, like they'll lay all the gimmicks we made and everybody will go by and they'll start picking their shit and making piles of like each match or whatever. But you'll see like if there's something that's particularly gnarly, everybody will be like, make it a point, but fuck that. I'm not doing that. You know what I mean? So sometimes guys will take that as a challenge. You know what I mean? Like for instance, like the porcupine quills. Like that's one of those things that people are like, absolutely not. You know what I mean? But I look at it as like, I'm not gonna fucking need stitches or bleed to death, so I think I'll be okay, right? And my thought process is a little bit different than other people because it's like I take. Not to break down the fourth wall too much, but it's about calculated risks, No,
it makes. I mean, it checks out. It makes sense, right?
What would you say is the most painful thing you took over the years?
So I did these like weird, like I did a tempered panes of glass match at the Murder City Deathmatch Cup against Dr. Redacted and MM3, and I was very late to the show. We hit a bunch of traffic. We showed up when match 2 was going on. So I didn't get a chance to do my normal walk through the weapons. Like I just spoke about how I look at things and be like, no, yes, whatever. I didn't get to do my walkthrough of these weapons. Long story short, we get in the ring and it's panes of glass, but they are tinted black. They're tempered, but they're tinted black. So for whatever reason, these fucking pains were just gnarly, dude. And that right there on my arm is from like one pane of glass.
Oh Christ!
Jeez.
Yeah, dude. I didn't need stitches or anything, but that's probably the fucking worst one. Most painful thing I got was I was behind the pane, and Dr. Redacted did a cannonball through the pane, and the glass just tore up my arm. Like more like scraped up my arm, not really like cut it deep, but like, you know, like skinned it. Like, yeah, crazy. That was the most painful thing for me.
What's on the no-fly list for you?
For me, I don't do heights.
Okay.
Like you're not gonna see me coming off the roof. You know what I mean? It is what it is. So like my first story, how I said I used to try to sprinkle deathmatch wrestling into wherever I could. I had a match for Beyond Wrestling at a show called The Real Thing, The Real Deal. And we were in a War Games cage match. And me and Ricky Shane Page did a spot where he superplexed me off the cage. And it was supposed to be through a table. But we ran at a nightclub called Fet Music. I had those slippery nightclub floors. So when we hit the table shot out from underneath us. So essentially, I took a superplex from the cage to the concrete. And that was ultimately why I took like 4 years off of wrestling, because my fucking lower back was just jacked up and I needed to take time, and it snowballed into a whole thing. But yeah, that's why heights is like a no for me, because that kind of traumatized me a little bit. So heights and probably razor wire, dude. Those are like the only two. Everything else is like on the table.
Okay. So I'm sure you've seen it. The needle in the dick.
Yeah. I wouldn't take a needle in the dick, no, but like I'm not particularly scared of needles. So like I have took syringe spots, and I would take syringe spots, but probably not to the dick.
Like the Drew Parker syringe through the fucking mouth thing?
Yeah.
Fuck you, bro.
What would you take to the dick, or is there nothing dick related?
I mean, is the dick staying in the pants, or is the dick out?
Dealer's choice.
Yeah, see, I mean, if I don't have to put my dick out, it's not like a decent exposure. Like, I think there's a lot more things that are on the table, but like, my dick's not coming out in public. We're just not going to go that route.
Got hog staying in the pen.
Yeah, by all means.
When you were away for your extended time, like, did you miss pro wrestling?
Oh, I went through the whole gamut of emotions. I missed it. I hated it. I was mad about it. I was sad about it. So, you were familiar with the Beyond Wrestling work that I did. So like at that time, we were like really like we were married to Santana and Ortiz. We wrestled those guys everywhere we went. So like the guys like Santana and Ortiz, guys like Private Party, they're getting signed to AEW while I'm away at this point in time. So like that's where my whole like journey came, because it was like at first I was like, you've like that, like kind of like jealous, you know what I mean? That should be me type, you know what I mean? And then I was like, oh man, like my friends are on TV. Like, how cool is this? And I got back into watching the product, you know what I mean? And then watching the product made me miss the product, made me want to get back into doing it. And then it just snowballed into making a return, you know?
You went from being in the Minutemen to fucking deathmatch wrestling.
Yeah, so I always wanted to do death matches, dude. Like me and Devin, we did a couple tag team death matches. We did like a last team standing. We did like Woonsocket Street Fight where we did like 20,000 thumbtacks. We did a couple things like that because he dabbled as well. I just never was given the opportunities to do so.
How'd you meet up with Dysfunction to do IWA Milwaukee?
So I moved to basically the Upper Peninsula of Michigan. So like I live in northern Wisconsin, but I'm like when I go to Walmart, I go to the Upper Peninsula of Michigan. So like I'm way the fuck north. And there's not a whole lot of wrestling companies out here. So when I was starting to do my research of what's what and who's who, a few companies stuck out. And ICW Milwaukee was one of them. Brew City Wrestling was another one. There's a couple companies in the area that are more known. So once I was able to get my foot in the door at some smaller companies and get some of the rust off, ICW was on my list. That was where I wanted to go. That was my goal to get, like, I wanted to get in there. It's funny that we bring this all up because today on my memories on Facebook, it was, I debuted for ICW Milwaukee 2 years ago to this day. So shout out to the anniversary of me coming in and working for Dysfunction. But yeah, that was my goal, man. So I drove down to the 420 Classic, introduced myself, helped set the ring, did all that good stuff. And was like, I want to do death matches. And this is like, we'll give you a shot. And then we're off to the races.
So, like, would you say like this Insane 8 that year is the thing that kind of like broke you out of his shell, like put you on the board or whatnot?
100%. So
Yeah.
I wasn't even scheduled to be in that year's Insane 8. I was just on the early show. And Eric Dillinger got hurt in the first round. Like, it had to go to the hospital. Was like, he was out of the tournament. So I subbed in for Eric Dillinger against Oren Veit. Last minute, I was already undressed, hanging out, drinking beers in the crowd, watching the show. And as soon as Eric got hurt, I went in the back because I knew that something was wrong. And Kurt was like, get dressed. So I was like, all right, it's time to go, dude. And then had the match with Oren. Had a couple clips go viral, like over 17 million views. And that was what lit the rocket for me to stop getting booked at other places like Horror Slam and things like that.
Who is there for you? Like you mentioned, like CZW and stuff. Like, is there like a bucket list for Tommy Trainwreck? Like, we're friends with Low Life Louie.
Yes.
Like, is he like on the bucket list? And would you
you
take the drill dough?
Yes. But for the love of God, absolutely. So like I was saying before, I was a big indie fan. So like CZW is big on my list because I've never been to a WWE event, WWE live event ever in my life, but I've been to the Tournament of Death as a fan. Paid my money to go to TOD 11. So that just should tell you where my values stand on professional wrestling and deathmatch wrestling. CZW was also always very, very high on my list. So that's a bucket list. TOD is a bucket list. King of the Death Matches is a bucket list. And the big one for everybody is Japan. Everybody wants to go overseas. You know what I mean? So like if I can check 2 of those 3 off of my list, I can retire happy, I think.
Yeah. No, I was so. I'm probably a little older than you, but I got into the death matches through Onita and Pogo. And then you got like the wild, like fucking alligator death matches and shit.
Yeah.
And obviously, just like you said earlier, like hindsight, like you go back and you watch them and it's a fucking fish tank with a baby alligator in it. But man, when you read it in that RF video fucking catalog, you're like, alligator death match. I need to buy that shit immediately. But man, yeah, Japan, they just do it differently, man. It's on my bucket list to go as a fan, just to go see.
I'm a Pokemon guy. Like I like the culture. Like, you know what I mean? Like there's a lot about Japan that I would like to experience besides just the wrestling, but the wrestling aspect, like you guys know, deathmatch fans are built different. So like Japanese wrestling fans are built different. So Japanese deathmatch wrestling fans, it's a totally different level of respect and admiration. You know what I mean? That is not really seen so much in the United States. Like they very much love and appreciate the art form in a different way.
Now, if you could start buying panties from vending machines here in the States, would that still make you want to go over there as much? Like if you could just buy your panties here, swipe panties out of the vending machine, does that kind of make you want to stay a little bit?
Definitely unsweetens the pot a little bit, that's at least
depending on the panties.
The reason I want to go over there is to gamble in the vending machines.
Now, every guest that we've had on the show that's been to Japan, we've asked, and since you haven't been, but if you went, Lance Archer swears raw horse meat is the best thing to eat over there.
Yeah, man. I don't know about that, bro. So, like, for me personally, it was a wild game dinner. All right. And it was like open bar. So, like, we're over there, we're having a good time. I eat a bunch of fucking meats, dude. And then, like, when I leave this place, it hits me like, man, I just ate like 13 different animals, All right. And now I'm sick. And now I'm throwing up, you know what I mean? A 3-hour buffet of exotic meats. So, yeah, man, I don't really fuck with exotic meats anymore, dude.
What about the alcohol, though? That has to play a factor in that, no?
I mean, a little bit. I wasn't like, I had like 3 drinks. I wasn't like super intoxicated or anything. To me, it was just the mental aspect of sitting there like, I just ate all these animals,
I'm with my wife. She dabbles in the hunting.
Yes.
And she's killed a couple geese and she's brought the goose home. And I can't get over. I'm like, wait, you cleaned it and you cooked it and now I have to fucking eat this?
Dude, out here in Wisconsin, people love venison. I swear by it. Everybody tries to feed me venison. I'm like, I do not want it. I'm the same way, man. Like I'm fine with meats. I just got to go to the supermarket and get them. I don't want any part of the the dirty work, you know?
Right, but we're also talking about Japan here now. Like raw horse meat in Japan, they might do it different.
I still don't want to eat a horse, dude.
You're not eating. I mean, I guess you are.
You are eating a horse, and like that's like an expression. You know what I mean? Like I don't necessarily need to live that. Nah, it's a no for me.
Do you need to know what you're eating before you eat it?
Yeah.
Like if you go with someone who's been to Japan, like I got you, bro.
Yeah, no, nothing nautical for me, dude. No strange meats. I need to know, dude.
So how do you differentiate Tommy Trainwreck, the wrestler, versus promoter? Like, what's the biggest challenge for you?
Nobody wants to, like. I don't want to do like when I go to shows and the shit that I don't like or shit that we see that we don't like. I don't want my company to be that stuff. You know what I mean? So my goal as a promoter is to not be that guy. I'm not the guy in the main events of my shows. I'm barely even booked on my shows. I wrestle my shows out of fucking necessity more than anything. I hate to wrestle my own shows. There's too much going on. You know what I mean? I'd much rather sit back and be able to run the card and do that shit because one of them suffers. Either running the show suffers or my match suffers. So it's one of those things that I'd rather not do that. So it's like, for me, the biggest separation is like, I gotta look at things without the rose-colored goggles too, because a lot of times people get trapped in this thing. It's like just because you're doing something or you're producing something doesn't mean it's awesome. It's easy to get into that, like, oh, look how cool this is. We made this, we did this, and it's easy to get caught up in that, like, oh, this is cool. I try to look at things with like a little bit of like, all right, how can we do this better, or what can we do to make this better? Because if you get complacent, then that's what's gonna kill things. You know what I mean? And it's like, I'm not doing We Love Wrestling to just be another indie. I want to be a super indie. I want to be a destination. I want to be a place that people travel across the country to come to my shows because they're those shows. You know what I mean? And that takes a certain level of dedication, and it's a marathon, not a sprint, you know? So it's like, we're getting there.
Is your area getting oversaturated with indies?
Wisconsin is very saturated with indies, yeah. But none of them are like going for that smart audience. You know, they're all like friends and family, you know what I mean? Like the family-friendly wrestling. They're trying to draw like that type of crowd, where I'm trying to draw the smart audience who watches wrestling on TV 3 nights a week and knows the product, knows the guys. I don't give a fuck about the kids and the families who are going to watch the show, go home, and then not follow us on Twitter, not do anything. I want the fans who are going to go home and be like, oh, that show is fucking awesome, and go on the message boards and tell everybody, you need to watch We Love Wrestling. You know what I mean? That's my audience. I'll take 50 smart fans over 500 families any day, personally.
Now, we got our very own Handsome Kevin here. And let me ask you, Tommy, does the name live up to the image here? Do you think he's a handsome fella?
As far as like what, like handsome Squidward standards, or like
I don't know. We gave him the nickname Handsome Kevin. I don't know.
Was this like a long time ago, or like
like a couple years?
He's a handsome guy.
All right. Well, I'm always curious. I just want to know if like did we fuck?
I worked you, dude. I worked you. I thought I made you think we were going left and we went right. You know.
You are a good man, Tommy Trainer. You are a good man.
He fucking flip flops all fucking night. This guy over here, Handsome Kevin. Our very own Handsome Kevin does some indie work in Minnesota.
Yes.
So I don't know if you two have ever crossed paths.
No, have we?
We have not. No, I not a deathmatch man. So that's
I'd rather do regular shows too. It's just like, for me, dude, I'm the worst. I'll meet people and then I'll meet them again. I'm like, hey, what's up, man? I'm Antone. And I'm like, I'm that dickhead. I'm so sorry, dude. I don't mean to be that guy. Like, bro, I work like my side job is I work at a gas station, dude. I see people all day long. I just blank out faces. They're just NPCs by this point. You know what I mean? So
I think the only indie that I would have been in that would have been even remotely close to your neck of the woods probably would have been Frozen Tundra.
Okay. Yeah, they run like that Western Mass area. I've yet to work for Frozen Tundra. I've worked in Minnesota a couple times. Northern Lights Wrestling.
Okay.
Some company called APW. I don't know what it stood for.
All Out Pro.
Yeah, Pro.
They closed, yeah.
And I'm supposed to be making my Time Bomb debut soon, so I'll be out in Minnesota for that as well.
Time Bomb over in North Dakota.
They run Minnesota, North Dakota.
Yeah.
All around. But the show that I'm doing for them is in Minnesota. I don't know if I just spoiled anything, but yeah.
Yeah, now Thief River Falls.
I don't know, man.
Yep. Just gonna keep driving west until you hit it.
Yeah, nah, dude.
Oh, boy.
I honestly, dude, like I have so many dates and so much fucking stuff going on that like I have to come up like I have to like focus on one thing at a time, or else I'll never know. You know what I mean? Like when it gets closer to that show, I'll know exactly where it is. Right now, I know it's in Minnesota and the date that it's on. Besides that, we'll figure out the details when we get closer. I don't have so much brain capacity, dude.
Have your calendar ready next time you come on here for Handsome Kevin.
Yeah, I mean I do, but it's out of reach.
Tommy, I asked this question to every guest that's ever been on the Shining Wizard Wrestling podcast. And if you tuned in earlier or you checked it out, I don't know. You probably should have done your homework because we're fucking a disaster over here. When was the last time you shit your pants?
Oh man, so recently, dude. So I went to Vegas for Mania, and I got the most sick that I've ever been, like in my life. Like coming home from Vegas, dude. I was bedridden for 3 days. And those 3 days, I shit myself 7 times, guys. seven times, dude, in 3 days. I shit on my dog. I was sleeping, right, dude? I was sleeping. I woke up to a fart, and I literally shit on my dog, dude. I swear to God, it's behind my legs, and I diarrhea on my dog, dude. I was in the trenches, dude. In the trenches.
We have a winner.
Yeah, I think Ethan Page is in the books now.
That's it. Move over, Ethan Page.
It's 2 in the morning. I gotta clean my fucking dog, dude. And I was like, oh, miserable, dude.
Oh God, you just usurped the Ethan Page spot. Because he told a great shit his pants story when he was like a door-to-door salesman and he fucked some dude's toilet up. He shit his pants in his house.
Honestly, dude, I like me personally. If you haven't shit your pants as an adult, I don't know if I trust you fully.
Thank you, Tommy. We asked some people. We asked guests, and they go, "I don't know. I was like 6 months old," and we're like, "Come on, bro." And we're not.
You've sharded a little bit.
Exactly. I think that's the disconnect. I think people think like I'm talking about a log, and I'm like, no, if you're shitting logs as an adult in your underwear, you need to get the fuck off this podcast and go see a doctor immediately. We're talking sharks here, people.
Yes.
Sharks.
Yeah.
Have you ever been in the ring and done it, or wrestled somebody that's sharded?
No, dude. I've had like 2 instances though recently where I've like been in the ring and I was like, oh man, I gotta poop. That's not good, dude. Like that happened to me twice in recent memory, and I was like, oh no, dude. Like we are almost there. One of them was at a show that was like an outdoor show. So as soon as my match was done, I just got in my car and drove to like a bodega down the street. I didn't even say thank you to my opponent. Nothing, dude. Broke curtain, and I was like, gotta go. I just got in my car and left, dude. Everybody was like, what happened? I was like, nah, dude. I just had to take a shit. I don't.
There was no bathroom at the wrestling venue?
Dude, we're talking IWA Deep South.
Shit, right.
The show that was the fucking Southern Outlaw show, the show that the SWAT team showed up at. So, yeah, no, man. We're at some dude's house, and he wasn't letting nobody fucking drop deuces in his house.
This is IWE Deep South, man. They're not gonna have anything there. It's the woods.
This was like over a year ago. That was my first time going there too. So I pull up and they're like, it's not backyard wrestling. We're in somebody's front yard. I was like, oh.
Bro, according to Cage Match, IWA Deep South Southern Outlaws was a fucking pay-per-view.
It was live on pay-per-view, and the fucking police showed up. SWAT teams, 14 SWAT teams with ARs.
Were you there, and you already left?
Hell yeah, I was there.
What is that? What is that like?
Fucking crazy. You know what I mean? It's not a normal occurrence at a wrestling. Like I've had the police show up at wrestling shows, sure, but not like literally 15 cruisers with bulletproof vests and fucking ARs, dude. No, not to that level.
I mean,
it's part. They left. They were like, oh, they see the ring. They're like, y'all wrestling? That's the quote. Wrestling. And once they realized they were wrestling, the cops left, and the crowd broke out into an IWA chant, and the fucking show went on.
It's crazy par for the course for them. Their first Carnage Cup, I remember, got shut down by the police after like 3 matches or something like that.
Yeah, they've had quite a few run-ins with the police.
Yeah.
As we love we love wrestling.
Yes.
Have you had any run-ins with the police doing that?
No, because dude, like We Love Wrestling, like we're a registered LLC, like we have like insurance and like we're a business. You know what I mean? Like we went through all the right avenues to make our company like as legitimate as possible. So when I run in a venue, we're usually legally allowed to be there within our rights. You know what I mean? We've had the police like assist us. We've used an ambulance at a show before because they were there and like, hey, could we use this ambulance for a spot real quick? And they happened to say yes. So, you know what I mean? Yeah, no, we knock on wood, dude. We've been good. We've been able to stay away from the police for certain. But I think that just from due diligence and not doing things. Like I said, I don't like to do things when I go to a show and I don't like shit. I try to do the opposite of that. I want things to be legitimate. Like our guys get paid before the show. We don't fucking rely on the gate. All the shindy stuff you hear. Like I just want to do the opposite of that. You know.
Yeah, I think, and I like that you have the big picture outlook. You're not looking for, you don't want 500 people at the first show and then nobody at the second show. Like you got to build a reputation.
At the end of the day, man, if you do this for money, you're doing it for the wrong reasons. You know what I mean? Like if the money comes, cool, and the money does come for some people, you know what I mean? And some people it doesn't, but I am rich in life experience. I get to travel the country, and I have friends that I see in California, and I'll see them in the South, and I'll see them on the East Coast because they travel and they do this. Like that's a blessing, you know what I mean? It's not that's a payment in itself, you know what I mean? Getting to travel, get to do those things that I love. Sometimes it's not all about the envelope, you know what I mean?
No. Is there anybody left out there in the deathmatch scene that you haven't worked yet or look forward to going against?
Yeah, man, there's a few. The top of the list for me is Matt Tremont. There's been tons of comparisons in my career between me and Tremont for our looks, and he's the bulldozer. I'm Trainwreck. There's many comparisons to be made. So Tremont's the top of my list. Alex Colon is another one. I think that Alex Colon is very slept on and is one of the best like hybrid deathmatch guys. Nick Gage there's still quite a few names to be had. I've been fortunate enough to work with some bigger names in the deathmatch community, but there's still some people I'd like to work with. There's still some dream matches for me to have for sure.
Now I know you were, according to Cage Match, you're from the shitty city of Philadelphia.
No, that's a work.
That's a work.
Yeah,
thank God.
Yeah, we were just gonna bust your balls about that, but
no, Philly fucking sucks, dude. I'm from Massachusetts, dude. I'm from a city called Fall River, Massachusetts. It's about an hour and change south of Boston. They're famous for Lizzie Borden, serial killer. Is from.
I love it. I'm in. You don't have. So we had Alec Price a couple months ago. Yes. You do not have the accent like him though. His accent.
No, you can only hear it when I talk about parking the car at the harbor, you know. But besides that, yeah, it's not that prominent. I also have been living in the Midwest for like 5 years, so probably faded away a little bit and picked up some opes and some don't you knows along the way, you know.
Don't you know? You be fucking with them cheese curds out there?
Yeah, man. I'll be honest. Wisconsin food is kind of fucking shit, but like I do fuck with the cheese curd. You know what I mean? Dude, me personally, I'm like another thing about my home city is the inventor of chow mein. So like the chow mein that you get at like Chinese foods like that. Yeah. That's like from Fall River. So like there's a lot of big Chinese food places out east, and like where we are, it's like just a lack of flavor. Lack of flavor, dude. Yeah, everything's just deep fried and covered in like cheese, you know.
Yeah, look at them out there. They're all
I mean, there's more to like beer cheese. Like beer cheese is cool, man, but like I want like some like seasonings and like not just like deep fried nonsense, dude. You know what I mean?
I'm with you. Sometimes you want a deep fried Oreo, but sometimes you want
not fucking 6 days a week.
Deep fried diabetes come from that.
Fuck, Tommy, this was a blast, man.
Yeah, dude, this was fun. I appreciate you guys having me.
Anytime you have an open invitation, anytime you want to come back, shoot the shit. You got something to promote. Yes. You're doing something on Twitter with We Love Wrestling. Like, tag us, man. We'll fucking retweet it. We'll put the word out there.
Appreciate you, man.
This is Rondo, great fucking guest, man. Tommy Trainwreck. Don't put him over. Don't put over. You're gonna do it, not Tommy Trainwreck.
No.
Don't put over
my man, Mod Spock, helping me set this up. This would not have happened without him. legit. So
Yeah, Tom's my boy.
Yeah.
Shout out to Tom.
Fucking
And can I get a quick plug in before I go, dude?
of course,
whatever you need.
yeah.
Follow We Love Wrestling on all socials. It's We Love, and wrestling is spelled with a 3 instead of an E. And that's on IG, that's on YouTube, that's on Facebook, that's on Twitter, X, whatever you want to call it. It's the same across all the boards. Watch us on IWTV. Death Wish Cup is our most viewed show on IWTV. You should go out of your way. You should watch it. You should follow what we do. We're doing it for the love of wrestling. Thank you guys for having me. Much appreciated.
Yo, Lil Sicko looks like a fucking maniac.
Yeah, I mean, he's not like little sweetheart.
Very fair point.
That's a new gimmick, dude. We'll just paint hearts on his eyes, dude, and it'll be a love.
Yeah,
I like it.
it was like fucking dollar store ICP. You gonna fuck him up, aren't you?
I want to try.
Get him,
Absolutely.
get him, Tommy. I don't like this Neil Diamond Cutter. He's all bloody.
Yeah, I mean, there is a parental discretion advised sticker on the poster, just so like all ages are accepted, but like don't be a shitty parent, you know. Don't bring your newborn baby to the deathmatch show and let them breathe in spooky dust, please.
Now I gotta ask you. You reach out to all these guys, right? Send me a promo picture, and then this Damian Spriggle, he's not even bloody like all the rest of the fucking guys.
Well, dude, like it's not all death matches.
But he's wrestling Orin, and Orin's fucking covered in blood here.
I mean, they're gonna have a panes of glass match, but Damon Spriggle isn't normally a death match guy. So
come on, Spriggle, get your shit together,
Hey,
bro.
you want me to like fucking superimpose some blood on this dude's face for the promo picture? What am I supposed to do, dude? That's the picture he sent me. I'm like, all right.
Yes, AI, get on. Go
You know how many gallons of water that wastes, dude? Come on, be responsible.
What waste? Wait, what wastewater?
Yeah, supposedly, operating an AI system, it takes like 7 gallons of water for every question you ask it to cool the fucking supercomputers.
Really?
Don't quote me. I might be fucking just spitting Rob Dyrdek facts at you that are completely false. But yeah, man, that's what I heard. That's what I've been seeing videos on and shit, dude. One of the reasons people are shitting on it.
Interesting.
That sounds like a great question.
That might be conspiracy gaga. I don't know. My feed is also filled with flat Earth videos. Don't fucking listen to me for advice.
Before you go, Tom, let's ask the Grok. How much water do we
ask
waste
AI.
when we
Absolutely none, sir.
question? Let's see what the Grok says. This is the fucking money we pay for shitty fucking premium Twitter where you can't stream fucking live. Eat a shit, Elon. You okay over there? Asking me a question doesn't directly waste water, but it does use some energy for computing, which can indirectly involve water in things like data center cooling or power generation. The amount depends on a lot of factors. Oh, this bullshit. So she says,
give you a political answer. I told you, yes, we're fucking you, but we're not telling you how deep.
right. You gotta get them panties out of that vending machine.
Yeah.
Tommy, you're the best, man. Thank you so much.
Absolutely. I'm leaving. Goodbye, guys. Have a good night.
We
Thanks
love
again,
you. You're
Tommy.
the best, Tommy.